What's happening, people? SconzE here with One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Fujitora makes his move. Straw Hat, Pirates, under siege. Let's get into it. Also, while they play a cutscene, I just got a pack in Pokemon TCG Pocket, that is. So, while this cutscene goes, I'm going to open it. I'll let you guys know what I get. They came out with the new pack, what is it called? Crimson Blaze with like Mega Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. But I still gotta finish up the Mega Rising pack, so I'll be opening one of those. The Altaria one, that's what I'm going for. I have all the EXs and stuff, but I do not have all the basic cards and I don't have enough points for all of it. Let's see, anything good? We got Maractus, Miltank. Oh, Full Art Fantina! Okay, this was a good pack. Nice. Oh, and a new base card I needed. One of the basic ones. That saves me a couple points. Alright, Full Art Trainer. Those are my favorites, are the Full Art Trainers. Awesome. Alright, guys. Live pack opening. Well, not live, but pack opening on SconzE was a success. That's really cool. I'm very glad I got that. I would love to get all the Gen 4 gym leaders. That'd be cool. Gen 4 is my favorite. If you guys didn't know, when it comes to Pokemon, Diamond and Pearl, that is my favorite. Like, my first Pokemon, like, I grew up as a little child in Gen 3. That was, like, my first exposure to Pokemon, was, like, the Gen 3 era. But Gen 4 was when I really started to get into it, because Gen 3, I was so young, I didn't really, like, know what I was doing, so I couldn't really, like, play it too well, But then Gen 4, I was like, alright, I got a little bit older, so I knew how to do things, to say the least, and had a great time. Diamond Pearl, and my greatest achievement in Pokemon, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I completed the entire National Dex, and all through legit means. I got every Pokemon, including Jirachi and Deoxys and stuff. I had to get them through, it took me a while, but I would just go into lobbies and just try to find people to trade with. And the thing is, you can't... What just happened? Oh. Bartolomeo. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk over them. If you care, you can just read the subtitles. That's what they're there for. Anyways, oh yeah, so Jirachi and like Deoxys. Oh, with the trading rooms, you can't talk. There's no chat function, so you literally just have to like put out a Pokemon, see what they put out, and be like, do we like this? Do we not like this? Accept or not? So it took me a while, like a long while, but eventually I got them. I think I traded, because I had Darkrai, and I had Shaman from, like, the events, and, like, Cresselia, and then once those events passed, you couldn't get them anymore. So I think I traded, like, Shaman for Jirachi, and the Deoxys for the Darkrai, which I was able to wind up just getting another ones of them. Or actually, the Shaman I don't recall. Darkrai I knew I was able to get again through... through Scarlet and Violet, they had like a code thing for him. But yeah, I got it legit, because it wasn't like I traded with people who had like hacked versions of them. Like, they were legit, because you could check like where they came from and stuff. So, it was cool. But yeah, all legit, I didn't hack anything in, and that's my favorite gen, is like Gen 4. Past Gen 4, I don't care. Like, Gen 4, that is my peak Pokemon. Like, Black and White, the games are good. I don't care for the Pokemon, though. So it's like the 493, the first 493, that is, like, that's my squad. That is who I roll with in Pokemon. Love it. Gen 4, I always say, was the best. The very best. Because you had Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Elite Pokemon games... Because, like, Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that's, like, the best. Diamond and Pearl, people have complaints with, but then you got Platinum. So I'm just saying that era is good. And then we had Pokemon Battle Revolution, the best way to battle still is the best visually looking Pokemon battle. We had Pokepark Wii, which is absolutely goated. I don't think Pokepark 2 I don't think is as good. I wasn't crazy about it. Pokepark Wii, that was great. Dude, we had the Pokewalker, so you bring it to school with you and like be like, yo guys, check out, I got my Feraligatr on my Pokewalker. I actually went with Chikorita and Magnium though. People hate, what is it, Meganium, however it's pronounced. But I always go grass type. That's just my thing. I'm not saying, oh, you know, Chikorita is better than Totodile and Cyndaquil, you know, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, or whatever. I'm just, grass is just what I go with. So I'm not to, you know, starting controversies of which starter is better. Like it's not about that. I just go grass because I like grass type. That's it. What else was good? Oh, and then, dude, we had, dude, the legendary lineups, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. I mean, come on, man. And, and then, dude, Arceus, the god of Pokemon? How do you top that? You don't top that. That was the peak of legendaries, dude. Because, like, the first original gens, I mean, the first 4, I always say, like, that's top. That's tops. Because you get from Gen 1, you had, because these all carry over into Gen 4. You had the legendary bird trio and Mewtwo, which is awesome, and then you got the dog trio, which some people say should be called the cat trio, because they're really more like cats than dogs. But they're awesome, and Lugia and Ho-Oh are cool. And then Celebi, I think Celebi's dope. And then, dude, Jirachi's dope too. And then Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza. And the Reggie trio. And then Gen 4 we get Regigigas, which is, I mean, his ability makes him fucking suck. But other than that, you know, Regigigas is still dope. And then Darkrai, come on. And then Deoxys was in Gen 3 too. But you get all this within, like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver and stuff. And you could, you know, trade them around. Then you bring the Reggies into, you know, DP and Platinum to get Regigigas. Like, it was just so cool, man. Like, that whole time, that was the best time of Pokemon. I'm so grateful to be able to grow up in that era of Pokemon. That was, what, like, 2008 and 9? Because I think, what, Black and White? Echo, what year did Pokemon Black and White come out? 2010. Okay, thank you. Alright. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, 2010. So I think it was, yeah, 2008 and 9. That was like, those 2 years. Oh, man, those 2 years were the years of Pokemon. So good, man. Was it 2007 Diamond and Pearl? I think it came out 2008. Echo, what year did Pokemon Diamond and Pearl come out?
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were released in 2006.
2006? Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Glad I could help with that Pokemon release too.
Okay, cool. So 2006, so from 2006, yeah, 2006 to 2009, because 2010 Black and White was into Gen 5. So I think it was what, Diamond and Pearl came out 2006, then I guess Platinum came out 2007, and then Heart Gold Soul Silver came out 2008, I think. Because Black and White was 2010. So maybe it was like, yeah, 2006 for Diamond and Pearl, 2007 for Platinum probably came out, yeah, you just come out a year. And then 2008, like probably halfway through 2008, and then that went through 2009, and then was Heart Gold Soul Silver. But those, oh my gosh, yeah, those 4 years of Pokemon was amazing, man. It really was, dude. And watching, dude, and Dawn's goated. Watching, because people always compare the different, like Ash-like side characters. May's cool too. Misty's good. May's, like Misty, May, and Dawn, the OG3. And people, Iris, I don't know. I wasn't crazy about Iris. And then Serena's, yeah, it's fine, whatever. It was that X and Y. But like Dawn was goated, like, because everyone was like, I forget. There was so many memes. now that if it goes to a cutscene, I'll try to look it up. But there were so many memes like that was like comparing Dawn to every single like Ash sidekick, and it would be like the beta, just for example, like any of them, like any female trainer, the beta Iris, whatever, and then it would be like the Chad Dawn, you know, like the meme, the beta and Chad like comparison. And because like Dawn had like a lot of like accomplishments and stuff that like the other trainers just like didn't really have. And then dude, and Brock was still around. They got rid of Brock for fucking what is it, off-brand Zoro. Like for what do they call it? What's the meme for not Dollar Tree Zoro? What's the meme? There's like a meme where it's like if something's like a fake version, you call it. Well, you say like the new version now is Timu. People say, oh, for Timu Zoro. Yeah, green hair. What's his name? I don't know or even remember what the guy's name is, but is it like Simon or something? I don't know. Like he had green hair and he wore like a waiter outfit. He like made food. But come on, like how do you get rid of Brock? Like Brock was amazing, man. He was the man. Love Brock. Yeah. But those 4 years of Pokemon from 2006 up until the change in 2010. That was the time, man. That was the time. What a blast. What a blast. Yeah, TV shows and movies were great, man, too. Yeah, Diamond Pearl Galactic Adventure. Oh, man, they had, like, the best theme songs, too. Like Gen 1 was good at I mean, like, the first couple are, like, all good ones. But Gen 4, I love the way they had to say where it's like, sometimes it's hard to know which way you're supposed to go, but deep inside the brain and that. And it's like, oh, man, and you just get, like, emotional hearing that. It's like, oh, my gosh, it's so true. Sometimes it is hard to know which way to go. And then there was the other one. What was the other one? It was really good, too. I wish they put it on Spotify. They have Gen 1, 2, and 3 songs on Spotify, but they don't have the other ones. I'm like, come on. I'm like, you're just missing my Gen 4. Please, Pokemon. It's really good. And then there was a good one, Pokemon. It's all about the battle. It's all about gotta be faster, gotta be stronger, time to win, whatever the fuck. Like, it's just like, it was cool. Dude, and Paul, oh my gosh, Paul was a goated rival, dude. Cause he was intense. He wasn't like the other ones where it's like, hey, what's up? We're gonna Pokemon battle. Like, Gary's cool. Dude, Gary got pretty sick in, I gotta say, Pokemon. What is this? Oh, I gotta break these. What was the show called? Pokemon Journeys. Some people slept on Pokemon Journeys with Go. I actually loved Pokemon Journeys. I loved watching Ash like rank up through battles to like eventually like go for the world title of #1 Pokemon Master. And Go's whole thing of wanting to catch every single Pokemon was sick. And they completely wasted it. Dude, Go, I think it was probably because people didn't really care about Go. They weren't into him. And so they probably just like, alright, whatever, we're gonna like scrub this. Dude, because like, inside the professor's lab and stuff, they had, what is it? They kept all the Pokemon, and you saw all the Pokemon. It wasn't just like, oh, I would catch them and you don't see them. Like, no, they would literally, like, showcase all of Go's Pokemon just in the lab. Dude, and then he caught Suicune. He caught Suicune. It was by accident, but I was like, oh, damn. Go's gonna catch all the legendaries. And then it was, but then I knew it was washed because they got a chance to, like, capture Zapdos, and then they botched it. They didn't capture it. I was like, oh, man, what? I was like, I thought Go was going to catch all these legendaries because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get every single Pokemon. And then they ran into Mewtwo, and they fought him, and then they didn't get him, and it was just like, dude, it would have been sick. I mean, come on. Imagine Go just having every single Pokemon, like, at his, like, disposal. Like, the whole thing was that, like, Go cares about the Pokédex. So, like, he represented the trainers who want to just, like, collect. And then Ash represented the ones who wanted to battle. Because Ash didn't care about collecting. He just cared about, like, battling and fighting and, being #1. So it was nice. You got a good contrast of, the two types of playstyles. For me, I love to battle, but I am more of Ghost style. I like Ash way better as a character. Don't get me wrong. But I am more of, like, the Go style. Like, I love just, like, catching all the Pokemon. That's my jam. is getting all the Pokemons and stuff. That's what I like. I like the more like collecting aspect. I feel like if I lived in the world of Pokemon, I would love to be a Pokemon researcher. Like battling, I would love to battle too. Like battle is fun, but I'm just more interested in the Pokemon themselves and stuff. Like that'd be my jam. That'd be what I'd be into. But Gary's really cool because he joined like, I don't know, what is it called, like Project Mew or whatever. And so he like captures legendaries and like fights them for like data and stuff. So he got pretty cool. He got pretty cool later on. Gary, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Dude, you know, they had from Gen 2, Chris and Ethan, they put him in the Pokemon show. I think, what did they show up in Johto? I forget, they don't call him Chris and Ethan, though. They call him different names. But it would have been good to keep him around in the show, have him appear again. Dude, and then everyone appeared. Pokemon Journey is great because you get to see, like, everyone from all the previous years and stuff. It's like a big, nice combination of just, like, everyone. Like, Dawn shows up. Does Misty show? Well, Gary shows up. Misty and Brock, you get to see, there's a sequel show after Ash becomes champion. There's a sequel show where it's Ash, Brock, and Misty, and they go on a little adventure together. They just have a little, it's like I don't know, I think maybe it was like 6 or 8 episodes, just them doing a little reunion tour, and it was really fun. It was nice. But May never shows up. You do actually see like the back of May's head in one frame. I'm like, why didn't they put her in the show? I don't know. But then, dude, oh my gosh, you can believe it when I say, dude, I cried, man. I was crying at the end of Pokemon Journeys when Ash becomes the champion. It's specifically the part where it's like Pikachu is like down and out. It's like, oh no, Pikachu's gonna lose. And then all of a sudden Pikachu is in like white space. Like, it's just, he's in a world where it's all blank, there's nothing there. But then, every Pokemon that Ash has ever caught throughout the entire series, like, all, like, shows up surrounding Pikachu, and it goes through all of them, and they're all like, there, Pikachu, get up, there, like, you know, and they say their Pokemon noises. And I was just like, this is too much. It's too much, I can't, my little heart can't take it. And then they play, like, the theme song where it's like, I wanna be the very best, and Ash is like, Pikachu, fucking kill the Charizard, and, like, it's like, oh my gosh, and it was too much. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it gets me teary-eyed. It was, like, cause, like, I grew up, like I said, I started Gen 3, so it's like, I was, like, cause where Pokemon's at now, like, I was, like, early on. It wasn't like, you know, I didn't grow up with Gen 1, and Gen 2, because that was like 90s, but Gen 3 was like my first Pokemon. I had I forget, what was that? I have Sapphire. I have Pokemon Sapphire. I swear I had Emerald 2. I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, Sapphire was my first Pokemon game, but I remember as a kid, I was so pissed that like I really liked Ralts, and in the tutorial when they teach you how to catch a Pokemon, and they catch Ralts, and then they just have it, and they hold on to it. I was like, I want it, though. I was like, let me catch it. I don't want you to have it. I want to have the Ralts. Because I really liked them. And then I still have those cards from when I was a kid, of, I think it was, what is it called, the Delta series, where it's like the Pokemon are, like, different types, like Totodile. It was like an electric card instead of a water card. And then I forget what were the other ones I have, but I have those, like the Delta species cards. I think, what is it, Crystal Guardians, I think was like one of them. Yeah, so I got those Gen 3 cards, and then I got like Gen 4 cards too from that era. And like, man, but so yeah, Pokemon has been part of my life like ever since I was a little kid, and I started early on, because now what are they on, Gen 9? Gen 9, we have 9 generations, so I started Gen 3, so that's early on. That's very early on in the grand scheme of things now, so I'm not OG, but I'm like semi-OG, you know what I mean? But, yeah. I'm glad I grew up when I did, because I find the first 4 gens to be the best. It was just great times, and then I hate the transition to, well, okay, not entirely. So here's the thing. When they transition to 3D at first, I despised it. Because if you look at the comparison, dude, the Pokemon looked like garbage. They just looked terrible. They were so just washed out. Like, if you look at, like, the pixel art from the previous games, they're so bright and vibrant. Like, look at Gengar. Gengar's one of the best examples. He's bright purple. And then if you look at, like, him in, like, Pokemon, was it X and Y were the first ones? X, Y, and Sun and Moon and stuff. It's like, it's so faded. He looks more like gray than purple. They did a terrible job, but now they've gotten it together. Like, the Pokemon are finally, like, they look good in 3D now, starting with, like, Scarlet and Violet, I think really picked it up. Sword and Shield, I wasn't interested in. Scarlet and Violet, though, I gotta say, people hate on it, and as someone who, like, you know, I admit, like, as a Pokemon hater, like, past Gen 4, Gen 5, Black and White are good games. It's just, you know, I just don't care for, like, the Pokemon in that era, and actually anything past Gen 4, you know, just put it out there. I'm not... Whenever it comes to any of the new games, I always Gen 4 and below. That's who I use on my teams because that's the Pokemon I like. I don't, not into the later Pokemon. It's just how I roll. Not saying the other ones are bad. It's just me. It's what I do. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the games for the most part. Afterwards, like X and Y, you know, I was like, yeah, this is okay. Sun and Moon, I didn't really like either. Sword and Shield, I never had an interest for it. I didn't play it. My friend had it. I was like, I just wasn't interested. Let's go Eevee and Pikachu. Also, my friend had it. It was cool, but like I said, just wasn't interested. I'd rather just play. Because I have Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. I'd just play that if I want to play Gen 1 or Fire. Or I think it's what Leaf Green I have. Yeah, I have Leaf Green. I would just play one of those instead if I really wanted to do Gen 1. But Scarlet and Violet, everyone hate on. I love Scarlet and Violet. I'm just so happy that you could walk with your Pokemon again, because I love that about Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Oh yeah, another thing about Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which is why that era was goated. Battle Frontier, hello, one of the greatest things ever in Pokemon. And also you could walk with your Pokemon, which you couldn't do up until Scarlet and Violet, so, you know, I don't know, could you do that in Let's Go Eevee Pikachu? I don't know if you could. I know you could ride the Pokemon. But Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they brought that back too, actually. That was pretty dope. But for a while, they just had it not in the games. Anyway, but focusing on Scarlet and Violet, what I loved about Scarlet and Violet was the freedom. It was a true Pokemon RPG. True Pokemon RPG. There was the 3 storylines. The Sandwich storyline, the Team Star, like, beating the gang storyline, and, you know, becoming Pokemon champion. You had Nimona, and you had Penny, and you had what's Armin? Was that his name? Arvin, whatever his name was, the Sandwich dude. He was cool. I like him. But you had those 3 storylines, and you got to do all of them in whichever order you want. You could do some of one, some of the other, and it wasn't like you had to do those individual storylines in order either. You could fight the hardest gym leader first, or the hardest, like, Pokemon as part of the Sandwich thing when you fight the giant ones, or fight, like, the harder gang leaders first. You could do it in literally any order, any which way you wanted. And the customization, we got to customize our dude. Like, of course, the clothing was, like, basically non-existent, so that sucked. The DLC added more stuff, so that was fun. I was happy about that. But the hair and stuff, the style, you could do that. That was cool. And just walking around with the Pokemon, I loved having that again. And they were size scaled pretty good. Like, Battle Revolution does it the absolute best still. But it was such a fun time, though. My favorite thing about that game was, yeah, the freedom. Plus, I loved the characters. Dude, I loved going to the school and doing the classes with the teachers, and you take the tests and stuff, and then you get, like, rare candies and stuff for it. Like, oh my gosh, dude, it was such a fun time. The story was fun, the characters were great. That was the best part of it, was interacting with the characters. I was looking like I was actually looking at my Nintendo Switch earlier today, and I was looking at through the like the pictures that I had taken. I was like, what pictures have I taken on here? And I saw from Scarlet and Violet, I had like pictures for like every time I accomplished something in the game, or like pictures of my character. I was taking selfies with the characters I liked in the game and stuff, like the different, like the teachers and the trainers, the gym leaders, whatever. And I remember I was like, man, it was so fun. Like it was a true RPG Freedom Pokemon game. Very fun. People just complained. People hated it, not because of the game. They hated it because of like, oh, it runs bad. It runs bad. That's the Nintendo Switch's fault. It's not the game's fault. It's the Nintendo Switch. Oh my gosh, like, and even still, it wasn't that, it was like, whatever, like, oh my gosh, like, if the game's still fun, even if it runs poorly, if it's still fun, it's still fun, like, get over it. Like, I didn't have that much issues, like, my game ran fine for the most part, I didn't really have any issues, but now they got ZA? ZA looks like garbage to me, but it's like, that's what you get, you all complained about Scarlet and Violet, so they're probably like, and I feel like they put work into Scarlet and Violet. The story was great. The world was great to explore. The DLC was fun too. Kieran, the story between Kieran and I forget what the sister's name was. But the story with those two, I love that story. I was invested. It was fun. And then Kieran becoming evil, and then you beat. Oh my gosh, there was another thing. I had photos of after beating Kieran, and he's all depressed. I was like taking selfies, like doing like peace sign next to him, doing like sad face, being like, oh, Kieran got beat, womp womp. And I was like, dude, you could have so much fun with that game. But people just hated on it, and for no real good reason. For no real good reason. But now ZA looks like trash to me. I'm like, oh, like I was excited for it, and then I'm like, I see gameplay, I'm like, looks pretty garbage. People don't seem to be happy with it. But it's like, hey, you know what? I feel like they put a lot of work into the last one. The same thing with like Call of Duty. I would say, and we're going to wrap this episode up in a second too. But just another thing to throw into the mix, which correlates, is like Black Ops 7, absolute garbage, you know? But Cold War, everyone hated on Cold War. I loved Cold War. I thought it was amazing. I felt like they put a lot of work into it. And then Black Ops 6, it was like half-assed. Like, it was fun at first, but then it was just like bad. Like, it didn't last very long. It's only good at the first like 2 months, first 2-3 months. And then it was just whatever. But the thing is, with both Pokemon and like Call of Duty, I feel like they make a good game. People complain about it, even though like they really shouldn't be. It's a good game, and then these companies, they're thinking of themselves, because when it comes to Pokemon, comes to Call of Duty, no matter what they put out, it's gonna sell. They've cemented themselves as a franchise where it doesn't matter what they do, they're gonna make money. They're gonna make a profit. It's gonna sell. And so the thing is like, they're probably going to half-ass. They're not going to care as much. They're not going to try, because when they do try, people cry and complain about it anyway. Like I say, Scarlet and Violet was great. Now they're just putting out garbage. Call of Duty Cold War was amazing. People hated on it anyway, so and now they just put out garbage. Because why try? If you're going to make money anyway, you might as well take the easy way out and not really put the effort in and just put out fucking slop. As you know, that's the new word for everything now, is slop. But like, yeah, that's just how it is. That's how it is. You guys complain about good stuff, then you're really gonna get something bad. But whatever, it is what it is. I got my old games to hold on to still, and it's one of the glorious things about these new generation of like gaming is there's so many old games that are just ported on to new gen. So it's like, if you wanna still play some classic golden games, well, we got it. you can it's all right there in front of us. Like, you don't have to go to your old consoles. So at least we got that. Even if new games are bad, the old games still hold up good. All right, anyway, we finished up Dressrosa. Now it's time to move on to Whole Cake. I'll see you guys there in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye.